So I thought solar was really, a pipe dream of mine. I thought about it, but I realized it's probably going to cost way too much money. But then Hurricane Helene showed up. And for me, I live in Savannah, Georgia, and hurricane was still a tropical storm at this point in time when it hit our neighborhood. Still, 70-mile-per-hour winds was nothing to laugh about, and there was a ton of trees that went down. I lost power, like most of Georgia did, and I had a thought was a backup system, and it basically powered a fan and charged my phone. That was great until the morning. Now, in the morning, I realized that that little battery backup system I did not really plan for could not even power a coffee maker. And I like my coffee, and there was a big issue. And then I also realized that once I lose power, well, how do I get more power? That's a really big issue to be had. And I quickly thought about, well, there's two ways that you can create or get power. There's gas, your traditional way, or there's solar. Now, to me, gas is noisy, generators cost money every time, and every time you fill it up, you have to pay money. It's a commodity. So it's costing you money every single time you use that gas generator. On top of that, gas fluctuation price, I noticed also the gas stations were long in lines, and I realized that this was not a reliable way in the long run to create or sustain power for my house. Now, if we think about solar, it does cost a little bit more, but really the costs of generators and solar panels and all of that are coming down. You can buy everything off of Amazon. That's pretty incredible in this modern day age. Also, every single morning that the sun's out, you get power. Like it's truly every single morning. Even on cloudy days, it's still generating power. Not a ton of power, but it's still power. So I think about when I created this backup system for my house, I could go one of two ways, the generator gas route or the solar panel route. And I didn't have to spend that much money to create a reliable solar system inside my house, and it powers the essentials. And when I say about powering, I thought about how can it get me through 24 hours? Because the sun's going to come back up. And especially when it came to the hurricane, the next morning was gorgeous. This is kind of my first tropical storm hurricane that I went through. And to me, the next day was gorgeous, as if we just didn't get nailed by a tropical storm hurricane. And when I say tropical storm, it's only because the winds were about 5 to 10 miles per hour lower than a category 1. So while it was a hurricane on the outskirt, it was still a tropical storm. That being said, it was gorgeous and beautiful. And I realized, well, if I had solar, I could recharge the batteries for whatever I needed to do. And that was a wake up call to really think about and create a solar system that one, I could afford, two, I could understand, and three, I could use every single day. Because solar, unlike gas, once you make the investment and you use it, it pays you back. Now, I'm not looking to reduce my power bill to $0. I still use Georgia Power. They're fantastic. But if I could slowly save $10, $20 a month on my solar bill, that's $240 a year. Over the course of a couple years, that's going to be almost $1,000. So if I invest $3,000, $4,000 with that green energy tax credit, and then over the course of time, I slowly build or add, my solar panels are paying for themselves, and it creates a reliable source of backup for my house to use within 24 hours of that power outage that then I can then recharge the next day, and then I'm back up to full power on the backup batteries that power with the solar panels. And that's how I really thought about solar. It's a new way of thinking for me that everyone's like, oh, go gas. And I was like, well, gas is great, but the sun comes up every day. And if we can tap into that, literally buying solar panels on Amazon and other companies, you can create a reliable backup system for your house to power some appliances. I don't always say all, but that way you get through the day to get through that power emergency. And then later on in the day, the panels charge the battery and you're back up to 100%.